Hope everyone's doing well today. Sometimes we get to do cool stuff like that. This video already out or coming out. The rear end has gone to the fab shop, but that's for another video. Today, we're working on this. And, you know, sometimes this work isn't always glamorous, and that's all right. So what we got here is the box. I think it's for an f250 or 350, either way. I've never seen the truck. It says 350 on there, but this isn't the box off the truck it's going on. One of the guys that I do a lot of work for, he's got a fleet of stuff, and I guess he bought, I think it's a 2008 f250 if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, it's got a plow on it, and it's a lower mileage diesel. I'm not a big Ford guy, so I don't know if that's good or bad, but I was surprised when he told me he bought it because he's already kind of cursing at the truck. And look, Ford, Chev, Dodge, it all depends what you like. Most of the time. But if I sound like I'm not a big fan of the Fords, well, that's not necessarily true. But these boxes, you know, from the mid-2000s up until 2010 or so, I don't know the years or whatever. I'm not a modern Ford guy, but I'll tell you what I do know. These boxes, now be careful when you buy these trucks, because this is what happened to him. He bought a truck. It looked like the cab corners were a little chewed up, and it was green. It's a nice color of green, good-looking truck, and it's loaded, and it's an 8-foot box four-door, you know, which is what he was looking for, because you don't often have the 8-foot box. There was a little bit of rust around the wheel wells, and he thought he could fix them up. But after getting it home and bringing it in for, you know, do the certification to get it put on the road, all these rails underneath were completely rotten. So he went and found this box, and as you can see, there's a bit of surface. Nothing crazy. Back there, a bit of surface. You can see that rust spot there. I think there's a exhaust plate or something. No, that's the other side. But it's surface. It's nothing crazy. Everything is really, really solid. But this was a box that somebody put on a truck. Now, I don't know if it was a Southern box or if they just got lucky or what it was. But you can see the red paint, and the whole thing was red with gold. They basically put box liner or some kind of hard gravel guard up to here. And the line was, it was really, really bad. So we sanded a lot of that smooth. Whatever it was made out of, it was hard as a rock. We were able to actually use it to sand it smooth and then prime it. And we just did a gravel guard line from here down. We made it really, really bumpy because this thing's got dings and chips and all kinds of stuff going on. Whoever painted it, they sanded the side of the box. But as you can see on the top rail over there, they didn't sand any of the inside stuff and then proceeded to paint that anyway. And as you can see, that's what happens. We're not going to worry about that. We got the plastics that go on top. There's a black box liner, like a plastic one that goes in the box. So we don't really care about that. So again, this is going on a plow truck. Now the cool thing about this box, I don't know if I can show it, but if we come up to under the box, it's in pretty good shape. Smooth, not rusty. So the inner wheelhouse is in really, really good shape. Now someone had those lariat plastics on here, fender flares that are just for show. Well, and this is the thing with these Fords. And look, if you're going to work on a 15-year-old Dodge, you're going to have the same problem. And then on a Chevy, well, on a Chevy, you're probably going to have lots of problems. And I've done a lot of Chevys. I'm just saying the whole thing tends to go. Now, in this case, this one was good enough. We didn't bother with a complete wheel well, or wheel arch, I should say. I think this side was okay. But right here, they got spray foam in there, and it's got orange rubbery stuff. And it holds a bunch of moisture and it rots out. So we basically just grinded all that bubbling off on 3 spots. And then here there was some minor bubbles, but I think we grounded that out too now that I think about it. And what I did is I took one of my hammers with a pick on it I basically smashed this right down into the truck. Same with that corner and all 4 corners. And we fixed them with fiberglass. And the reason we did that, and when I say fiberglass, I actually mean the, well, what's it called? Everglass, if you buy Evercoat. I'm trying this stuff here. It's exactly the same, to be honest, in case you're wondering. A lot cheaper, well, a little bit cheaper. But anyway, my supply guy said, hey, try this. It's the same. I'm like, fair enough. You do rough work with it. Oh, look at that. I did a little spot right there that I got to sand, but otherwise this is just about ready for paint. So we're at like scuff, wash, shoot at this point. Yeah, a little bit of primer because we had to touch up some spots. But basically the red paint seemed okay on the truck. Down low though, it wasn't. And then yeah, like inside, you know. I'm pretty sure by the looks of that, they didn't even, you know, they might have had their friend, here's a Scotch-Brite, he just kind of wiped the dirt off is what I think happened. So we got it ready. Now the tailgate on said truck, not this tailgate, but the one that came with the truck, the bottom was pretty crusty and peeling and all kinds of stuff going on, and I haven't seen it. But he did send me a picture, and it was all starting to rot, and it was pretty bad underneath the handle to one side. This was up in the front of this box, buried in snow, and it's not terrible. I'm going to reach inside and move the rod to open it. You can see we basically just gravel guarded the posts down here. You know, wherever our thing lands, the box liner. We just wanted that to be black. I'm not going to worry if you look in here and the green just kind of blows in. We're not going to, this is a work truck and a plow truck. Just going to use it for bush work. But yeah, so there was some rust there, but it wasn't rotted right out. The outer skin is perfect. There was a couple places that were a little swelled up. So we cleaned it out with a wire brush on a drill. And we went in there with some rust dissolver from Permatex. It's kind of like a real strong navel jelly. And we soaked it a couple of times and cleaned it off. We hit it with a little bit of primer and we gravel guarded it. Now one thing that this truck will get is he's going to oil the hell out of it, so that's as much protection as it's going to get. I have a feeling, because I know the guy and I know what the truck's being used for, it's going to be beat up. So we don't want to put time and money into this. This is save money by cutting every corner possible without doing a crap job. That being said, you can see a chain and a come along. So as good as the tailgate looked, here, let me close that for a sec. As good as the tailgate looked, there was a nice line right here on both sides, outward. And normally when you dent it, that's where they're pinched together, and that's what you get. Now this didn't do that. The line seems to be gone. I didn't really do any body work to make it go away. So there's nothing up here. There's a little bit of that line down here. But basically we went to close this, and I could put 3 fingers in here, and this was bent right out. So what you got to do for that, and I mean, if you can't use the gate, try it. We opened that side, we stuck a 2x4 in it. See that bolt? We put that right in there where the pin goes, and we cranked it, and we just watched it move in, kind of, sort of, roughly where we thought it might work. Now it works. So this is a tailgate that likely would have been sent to the scrapyard, but it wasn't rotten. It now works. It's not amazing. You see a tight gap there, big gap over there, but it latches okay, it holds. Again, work truck. So you can see here, we just put the bolt in there, push that back, just like if it was on the pin. The bolt we used is the size of the pin, so we're good there. Yeah, it works just fine. The more he uses it, the better it'll probably get. Anyway, so sometimes the job ain't glamorous, and this is what you're working on. Gonna go around this, give it a quick scuff now with some 400. We're gonna do base clear, and only because it's a metallic green, so we kind of have no choice. I'd have just done single stage if this was my beater truck, because I don't care if the green is quite the same as the cab, but we'll do the right color, and it'll look good going down the road for a couple of years. And beyond that, it'll start to rust and fall apart, and the rest of the truck will likely go before the box goes. So anyway, sometimes this is just the kind of work you got to do. Cheers. Thanks for watching.